Marks Washington from MTC Media. Look, the NCAA is going through a revolution right now, a 1776 version of what is going to happen going forward with the organization and what it oversees. Like with any other revolution, whether it's an industry or a nation state, it's going to redefine stuff that we consider acceptable, stuff that we consider norms, stuff that we consider where the power lies and where it doesn't lie. Most of the time, the power ends up being shared until it swings all the way on the other side. And that's what we're having right now with the NIL. The NIL is one of those things, like they always say, when there's blood in the streets, people are out there making money. In this case, it's for the players. The players see the revolution that's happening, a court system that is seeing things from a free market perspective. Because of that, the players are rightfully using the leverage that they have, whether it's the NIL deals, whether it is the transfer portal, or the combination of both. I know revolutions make some people feel uncomfortable, especially established, because it's very easy to start to be comfortable. Hey, that's the way it's always been, even though it's been ridiculous that an athlete doesn't own his own name, image, and likeness and can't profit off of it. You talk about something that's anti-democracy, anti-capitalism, anti-free market. I'm just happy that the court systems have finally come on the right side of this argument and have gone over to the athletes saying, oh, no, 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 no. This is not a plantation mentality. You do own your name, own your likeness. And by the way, none of this money is coming from the schools. The money is coming from private entities, which is why I favor it. Do I want schools paying players? Not necessarily. But what a player does with private entities is 110% up to that player and should not be regulated by the NCAA. We do not allow other outside entities, especially a nonprofit, to regulate private money of an entity that they don't control. So why have we accepted the fact that the NCAA has always had this right? Sometimes it takes generations to correct the wrong, and that's going to make people feel uncomfortable. But I'm glad we're seeing market correction with what's going on in college athletics these days. And by the way, people are only outraged when it's a revenue sport. You notice people aren't getting outraged over the Olympic sports, only when it's the revenue sport. So, hey, the old saying is that when there are opportunities, you should leverage the opportunities, and players are doing that, and they're going to continue to do that. And just like anything else in a free market capitalistic nation, there's going to be mistakes. There are going to be times where you're going to have an example to say, "Oh my gosh, look, this kid did this. Look, it didn't work out for him." Hey, man, welcome to capitalism. Welcome to free market. Just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean that somehow, some way, the system needs to be changed, as much as it means that we have to become more educated on the system. So that's why I'm asking, as this thing goes on with the transfer portal and NIL, it's for the players, the parents, the coaches, the universities become more educated. And for the NCAA, quit looking to Congress to save you. Congress is not the entity to save you. And even if Congress does, you best believe anything that becomes a restriction of trade, oh yeah, someone's taking that to court. No longer do we live in the era that whatever the NCAA says is absolute hardcore law. It never should have been. And this is just a correction that should have happened in the name and in the favor of the people. No different than in 1776. This is Mark's